Hi, this is David Scott doing another one of my blogs and seeing if I can help people. I've been told that people really get a lot out of it, so I'm just trying to do it to help people. One of the things I heard this week that I kind of disagree with is the fact that we should forget our past and move forward, just forgetting everything that lies behind us. And I suppose for some people that might be okay, but I find that generally speaking, that is not good advice. I find that if you really have use wisdom, you're going to be able to look in the past and see mistakes, maybe see good things, maybe see hurts, things you've suffered from, whatever it is, that you can actually take those items and you can learn from them and you can learn what to do, what not to do, so forth and so on. In my own past, sometimes I learn from the things that have happened to me, and sometimes my own family says, "Why do you keep thinking about those things?" I said, "Because I learn from them. I learn what not to do to my own children. I learn what to do for my own children. I learn, all kinds of different things." One of my favorite examples of learning from your past is the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul went around killing and arresting Christians for their faith. And as he's going along doing this over and over and over, everywhere, finally one day he's traveling along and Jesus strikes him blind, knocks him off of his donkey or whatever he's riding and strikes him blind, and then just simply says to him, "Gee, Paul," he goes, "why are you persecuting me?" Instead of, if it was me, I would have said, "Paul, you're a terrible guy. I can't stand what you're doing, and I'm going to kill you right now." But he had to knock him blind to get a point across. Instead of just sending a prophet and telling him that, he had to get his point across to him very, very well, very strongly. And then he told him how to get his sight back, which he did. Now, what happened was the Apostle Paul realized that it was really the love of God that spoke to him like that. Like, "Why are you persecuting me?" Instead of like, "I'm going to get you," And he realized what the grace and the love of God is really all about. And he was the main writer in the New Testament about what grace is and about what love is. In 1 Corinthians 13 describes love and gives it 16 different aspects, of which most of us don't even know half of it about. And Paul went on to write that as a guy who actually killed and persecuted Christians. He learned from his past mistakes and what God spoke to him, and it changed his life. That's what we really ought to be doing in our own lives. We ought to be looking past and saying, "Well, this is what my parents did." Oftentimes I find that people actually begin to do what their parents did to them that was wrong to them. And they don't change their past. They don't look at it and see what the mistakes were. We need to look at our own mistakes, and we definitely need to say what I did wrong and humble ourselves and say, "I need to change that." And I've seen as a grandparent now of 11 grandchildren, I've seen now mistakes that I made in my past, and I've gone and I've apologized to my children for the past and for the wrongs that I did. And this is good stuff. We need to be growing no matter how old we are, no matter where we are in our life. And we can only grow like that when we look back and we see the things that has happened, the things that have done. And we can also look back and see the good things that we've done and begin to do more of it. And so I'm going to have to say that anybody who counsels somebody and tells them they need to go back and forget about the past and just move forward with tomorrow, I'm going to say that basically I call that a mistake. That I think we should be examining and looking and learning from history. When I was in high school, I didn't like history at all. Now that I'm older, I'm beginning to realize how much we learn from history and how we can avoid those mistakes. And I look at some of the politicians, some of the stuff's going all over the world, and I'm sitting there going, apparently they're not learning from the past mistakes. Seems to be that they're doing the exact same thing that has been done for thousands of years. And it's sorrowful. But you know what, folks? We should be encouraged because we can have an effect in our own life that other people can't. And that effect happens when we learn from the past and move into the future. So I hope this helps. That's all I got for today. Thanks a lot for listening. Oh, and by the way, if you don't mind passing this on to somebody else, that would be really great. I would really love that. Thank you. Bye.